Today, we are going to discuss a very rare and serious development in the Supreme Court of India, a split verdict delivered on 13th January 2026. A split verdict in the Supreme Court is not a routine matter. It means that even the judges of the highest court could not agree on a crucial constitutional question. And this time, the issue is about corruption law itself. The case relates to Section 17A of the Prevention of Corruption Act, 1988. This single provision decides one important question. Can an investigating agency even start an inquiry against a public servant without government approval? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Legal Information Law Insights. I am Advocate Mukund Mahajan. Let us understand the case calmly and step by step. The matter was heard by a two-judge bench of the Supreme Court consisting of Justice B.V. Nagarathna and Justice K.V. Viswanathan. The case came before the court through a public interest litigation challenging the constitutional validity of Section 17A. Now, what exactly is Section 17A? Section 17A says that if a public servant is alleged to have committed corruption while performing official duties, then no inquiry, no investigation, and no probe can be started unless prior approval is obtained from the competent authority, usually the government. The provision was added in 2018. According to the government, this provision was introduced to protect honest officers from false and motivated complaints. The argument was that officers should not be afraid of taking decisions due to fear of investigation. But the petitioners challenged this provision. Their argument was simple but powerful. They said, if you cannot even start an inquiry without government permission, then how will corruption ever be exposed? What if the government itself is involved? What if the permission is deliberately delayed or denied? According to the petitioners, Section 17A places a lock on the door of investigation and hands over the key to the executive. They argued that this provision defeats the very purpose of the Prevention of Corruption Act and violates constitutional principles like equality before law and rule of law. On the other hand, the Union government defended Section 17A. The government argued that honest officers are often harassed by frivolous complaints. Every administrative decision carries some risk. If officers are constantly afraid of investigation, governance will come to a standstill. According to the government, Section 17A is only a procedural safeguard, not a protection for corruption. Now, the Supreme Court had to decide. Does this safeguard go too far? Or is it a necessary protection? This is where the judges differed. Justice B.V. Nagarathna took a very strong view. She held that Section 17A is unconstitutional. According to her, anti-corruption law cannot work if investigation itself is blocked at the starting point. She observed that prior approval before inquiry protects the corrupt, not the honest. She also pointed out that allowing the executive to control investigation revives a system that the Supreme Court itself had earlier rejected. In her view, sanction can come after investigation, but not before. Independent investigation is the backbone of rule of law. Therefore, Justice Nagarathna concluded that Section 17A cannot survive constitutional scrutiny. Justice K.V. Viswanathan, however, took a different approach. He upheld the constitutional validity of Section 17A, but with caution. According to him, completely striking down the provision may harm honest officers. He emphasized that protection against frivolous complaints is also important. However, he made it clear that the provision must be strictly and narrowly interpreted. He suggested that approval should ideally come from independent authorities like Lokpal or Lokayukta, and not be misused by the executive. In simple words, he believed the law needs balance, not removal. And this difference of opinion led to a split verdict. One judge struck down Section 17A. The other judge upheld it with limitations. Because of this, the Supreme Court could not give a final decision. Since this is a split verdict, it does not lay down binding law under Article 141 of the Constitution. The final and reportable judgment will come only after the larger bench decides the issue. Legally, when judges are equally divided, the court refers the matter to the Chief Justice of India. The Chief Justice will now constitute a larger bench, usually of 3 or 5 judges. That larger bench will rehear the matter and give the final verdict. Until that happens, Section 17(a) continues to remain in force. So what is the impact of this split verdict? First, it shows how serious and complex this issue is. Second, it affects every corruption investigation in the country, whether by CBI or state agencies. Third, the final decision will decide how much control the executive can have over anti-corruption probes. If Section 17(a) is upheld fully, investigations may slow down. If it is struck down, investigative agencies will gain more independence. This case will shape the future of anti-corruption law in India. The final word has not yet been spoken, but when it is, it will be historic. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it informative, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for more legal insights. I will meet you in the next video soon. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.